Hey, powerful people. We are here with Andrea Hairston Hatchett, the founder of Saving Our Seeds, and she is on the spot. Let's get you a good question out of here. Okay. What's a dream you've always had but hadn't pursued, and what's holding you back?
A dream I always had and haven't pursued is to have a freestanding youth center that's open for all ages, to give the youth something to do, to cover a lot of bases like self esteem, social skills, anxiety, depression, exercise, eating right, with the gym, of course, and showers. And that's what my dream is. And what's holding me back? Funding, of course, which is mostly the issue when you're trying to dream. So that's one of the things I'm dreaming, but I haven't given up and I'm still fighting for that vision.
All right. I hope you keep pursuing.
Yes, I am.
So, what was your motivation for founding Saving Our Seeds?
Well, it was more of a vision from God.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up early one morning and it was like I wasn't asleep, but I was seeing a lot of youth drowning
Mm.
and depression, suicide, teenage pregnancy, substance use, all types of things that our youth are facing today. And I seen this, the inner tube. I think it's an inner tube that you throw out when someone's sinking, SOS. And from that, I derive saving our seeds. And our young people are our seeds. And we always talk about they're our most valuable resource, but we're not putting anything into them. So, I dedicated my life to putting my energy and my time into saving our seeds. And we also have a nonprofit, well, it's under the same umbrella called Saving Our Sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to get the mothers to come in, the aunts, the grandparents. And then we have Saving Our Sons, which is the core of the family unit, the
Mm-hmm.
fathers. So we can help the seeds, which are the young people, but if they go back to a chaotic home life, or the dad's absent or the mom's absent, or there's all types of abuse going on, we're not helping them. So I decided to do Saving Our Seeds, Saving Our Sons, and
Mm-hmm.
Saving Our Sisters to tackle the entire family so we can work together to get the youth back on track.
Right. Amazing vision. What are some of the activities, events, programs that you all have started to kind of meet that mission?
Well, we're getting ready to open up a youth enrichment program, which is an after school program, which they can come. We're going to have reading clubs. We're going to have homework help. Just come and hang out. And in the meantime, while you're hanging out, we're going to pour into you about self-esteem. We're going to do some arts and crafts, some STEM projects. I have a projector where we can watch movies and then have a talk afterwards. Do the things that they like, but then throw in there that little lecture on a sneaky way.
Okay.
Because
You
kids,
got to be
you
sneaky.
got to be sneaky with these kids. They don't want to hear you sit there and lecture to them. But if I put a movie on that they like and then say, hey, what could they have done to prevent bullying? Or did you think that promoted their self-esteem or destroyed their self-esteem?
Mm.
Do you have problems with self-esteem? And get them to talking. And I think we all need to get on board. It's not about me. I'm not here to promote myself. I'm here to promote saving our seeds because we're kind of been in the limelight, less light on the lime, if you understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
And, I have a lot of people on my Facebook friends list, and I ask for donations. If I got like 1,000 people on my friend list, if you would donate $1, that's probably about $1,500 that could go toward programming. Me and my husband have put in our life savings
Mm.
to get a building, to program, to add equipment. We want to do a podcast. We want to, it takes money. We
Mm-hmm.
buy our
Oh, I
own
know.
snacks. Yeah, And when we ask for donations, I did a birthday donation. Maybe one or two people gave. My brother Abe, Big Abe, he gave. I mean, I'm not going to mention names because I might miss somebody, but a few people gave. But
Mm-hmm.
it takes money to run a substantial program until we get grant funding, which
Right.
is kind of hard,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Tell me about the brick and mortar location. Where are you located and what communities are you serving through that
We're
facility?
located at 618 East Church Street.
Okay.
On the top of the building, it has a blue sign with white hands. This makes a heart, and it's called Saving Our Seeds.
Mm-hmm.
So our kind of hook that we use is saving our seeds for change. We don't just want to save them, we want them to change, to be productive citizens in the community so they won't come back and be incarcerated. And then I got to talk to them about recidivism
Mm.
and, juvenile incarceration. I don't want to go that way. I want to do preventive care
Right.
and, get the parents involved. We're going to talk about cooking healthy meals. Turn the cell phones off, get off of social media, put it down and pay attention to your child. A lot of parents don't even know their child is depressed.
Mm.
They don't know that they have anxiety times 1,000 because they don't pay attention to it. I get it. I was a single mother. I get it that you work. Yeah, but you still have to make that time to sit down and talk and say, hey, are you okay today? What happened at school? Develop a relationship where they're able to come to you, because if they don't come to you, they're going to somebody else.
Right, exactly.
And that somebody else is going to lead them down the wrong path. Hey, take this. This will make you feel good. This will take away all your problems. And I say this openly. I went through that.
Mm-hmm.
I went through substance abuse. And I'm not ashamed to say it, because I look at myself now and I'm an example that you can come out of that. And I have had so much adversity. I have so many things that have come against us, but I'm still holding on. And SOS will go forward. I just hope people will just grasp, help, come by and stay an hour, help the children read, give them some life experiences that helped you get through anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
or helped you get through abuse. Let them know it's okay to be sad, but you don't have to stay there.
Right. Talk a little bit more about some of your unique experiences and training that really helps you to bring all of this together for SOS.
I've had several jobs. I worked with the youth. I lived in Newport News for like 7 years, so I was a supervisor for therapeutics, which were special needs children.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a lot of experience dealing with special needs. I got some certifications dealing with disabilities and being a mentor for disabled children and youth and adults. I worked in juvenile facilities where it
Okay.
was lockdown facilities. I did a lot of counseling. I'm currently working on some studying to finish up a psychology degree. Hopefully I finish at Avard in May. I got a lot of stuff going on and life experiences.
Right.
My dad was a pastor. My mom was a preacher. They was always in the community. They were always preaching, but they failed to realize you preaching to the masses, but it begins at home.
Mm.
So that's where it begins. So teachers, I'm going to be your left and your right hand. If you're having trouble out of little John with his attitude, he's crying out some type of way. He needs something and he wants something, but he do not know how to communicate.
Right.
So just turn him loose, bring him to me. I will figure it out. Trust me. Sometimes it just takes a little time sitting down, coloring with them, listen to music, or just paying some attention to them. It will come out what they want and what they need. And God has given me that ability to discern.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that so much.
So I imagine from what you shared, you are developing some great relationships with local school systems.
Yes.
How can teachers, administrators, community members connect with you if they have a young person they feel would be in need of what you all do at SOS?
Well, one of my main sources is Miracle McCall. She works in the school system. I do not know her title. I'm sorry, Miracle. But
Sorry, Miracle.
yeah. But I am preparing flyers and some information about SOS, what we do to pass out to the parents, because no offense to the school system, they make it hard for you to get information into them. It's like they got a guard up. They got to monitor everything. I could understand if I was doing it to harm. This is free. I haven't charged anything. Now, the after school program, we have to charge something. $40. If you can't afford $40 to $50 when everybody else is charging up in the hundreds, then hey, I can't help you. I have to charge something. And I really don't like to call it a charge. Do a donation because I'm nonprofit. I'm not there to make a profit. My profit is going to see these kids say, hey, I passed my SOLs, or stand and look at themselves and say, I am beautiful. I am handsome. I am going to be somebody. That's a reward right there. But I need for everybody else in Martinsville, Henry County to catch it.
Mm-hmm.
Catch the vision. We got casinos in Danville. They got all these things going up, all these establishments. But we need to see our most valuable resource expand, empower, encourage. And that's what I do. And that's what I will do until I leave. I've been a minister for over 20 years. So I minister the gospel. And I also let them know, I don't tell them specifics because sometimes it's a little too deep, but I let them know, hey, I went through the depression as a child. They called me a nerd because I was a bookworm. But then they wonder, how do you know the answers to all those things on the test? Well, I read. Really, reading literacy is really hurting our youth nowadays. They don't want to read. They rather pick up YouTube. They rather pick up Google. I'd rather pick up a book and find out my information for myself.
And what's your strategy for inspiring young people to pick up a book again? Because I love reading.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this in several spaces. Like, I like holding the book. When I finish reading a book, I give it a little hug, like, goodbye, book. I appreciate all that you've shared with me. I mean, it's a whole deal.
Yeah.
But because now we're in an age of so much electronic communication,
technology.
Yeah. How do you inspire young people to make that connection?
Well, we're going to do some incentives. So at the end of a certain period, book it, at the end of a certain period of time, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, and then we're going to expand. If you have read this many books, or you can write a book report on what this entails, you'll get a pizza, or you'll get a pizza party, or you'll get an ice cream party. And we can do that all at the facility. We got air fryers. We got a whole big 2,500 square foot building where we can do some things. We might do a little dance. We might do some exercise. Whatever y'all want to do, we'll do it. We might do movie night, popcorn, something to keep them out the street and keep their mind off of the negative stuff. I see younger and younger having sex, younger and younger doing drugs, crack and meth and all other things, pills, And I also work in a group home for at-risk girls. And, I wrote a little book about different ways they get high. So I definitely, implement all these things. Hey, if you see this, you see that, they're getting high. Parents, hey, if you come in and your bread is on the table and the bag is gone, you better go find them. They might be huffing because they use the bag off of the bread.
I did not know that.
See, a lot of people don't know that. They do, excuse my language, but they do butt chugging. They take a Robitussin bottle and turn up and put it on the butt and they get high.
These are two new things that I have learned today.
I can teach you some things because I've been there and seen it.
I'm overwhelmed right now with these two items that you shared. Yeah. So there's a lot of community education.
I'm for it. Come on out, parents. I could teach you some codes. They can sit in front of you and talk in code, and you don't even know they're planning to go out with this boy and they want to lose their virginity. They done said that in a code. You don't know nothing about it. You're there, you're on your phone or whatever. They're sitting there making plans,
Well, you touched on this a little bit earlier, but I'd love to go back to it. The communication skills, because people are communicating through devices, or parents are in their mode of being on their device, and the young person, their child, is in their mode of being on the device, and then they're missing each other. How do we bring back good communication skills with families?
Well, and that's one of the things that I really harp on. There's no communication devices allowed at SOS. You can't bring your tablets and stuff like that. There is a phone there, so you can, contact parents if you need be, but you're not allowed to, bring it out. I know they have their iPads due to school. You can't bring it out unless you're doing homework. You have to learn how to deal with it. If Natalie called me ugly, we're going to go in the conflict resolution corner.
She would never.
I know. But even if you did, and we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about this. Okay, Natalie, why did you call her that? And she's a beautiful person like you are.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of get them to communicate with each other. Instead of indirectly texting somebody, you ugly, on the text. That's where cyberbullying come in, which is very dangerous. So getting them to engage with each other, getting the parents to come in and, hey, let's do a family meal where we all cook and sit down and talk. We got to go back. We got to go back to the basics.
What are some pro tips that you would give parents right now to kind of shift the dynamic in their homes if they have been in that space? In addition to family meals and cooking together, what are some other ways parents can re-engage with their children?
First of all, parents, you need to realize if you need help. If you have an unhealthy mind, if you need some psyche help, there's nothing wrong with going and talk to somebody. I have a therapist I go and talk to. And the reason why I chose a therapist, I believe in psychology and I believe in the Spirit of God. However, God gave them knowledge to help deal with things that we have no clue of what we're doing. And sometimes it's good to talk to somebody that's neutral, that I don't have to hear about it or see it on Facebook after I talk to you about it. And I think that's the major damage that's going around now, why people don't open up and talk about their mental illness, parents mostly, is because, I can't afford to take a mental health day. I have to pay these bills, the rent's due, they need school clothes. I got to keep going. But what are you going in? You're raggedy. And if I present myself as raggedy, I give off raggedy vibes. I give off raggedy love, raggedy faith. I don't want to deal with no kid if I'm depressed. I've been there. You don't want to deal with anybody. You become introverted. You don't even want to do the things you love.
So step one is working on you.
Working on you, because you can't help hurt people. I can't help you, Natalie, if I'm tore up from the floor up. Can I help you? No. I'm not even going to be concerned about you.
Right.
Because I can't hold my head up. I can't look you in the eye. I can't feel you. So you have to have a positive, outgoing personality. You have to help yourself before you can help your children. And it's a trickle-down effect. They're standing there. They're your broke little friends, right? And they're standing there, Mom, I need this, and Mom, I need this, and Mom, I need that. Even if it's just a hug, you can't even give a hug because you're so wrapped up and tied up and bound for yourself. And that's powerful. You have to. Men, it's like, oh, tough it up. I got to be tough. Man, cry if you have to. Come on over to 618 East Church Street. I'll give you a box of tissues. We'll sit there and cry together if you want to. But men, you gotta step up. We gotta step back up. We gotta teach these young men, hey, don't just fuss at them because the pants hanging down. You see the drawers. Don't fuss at them. They thinking they in. They thinking they doing something that's acceptable. They think they cool. They got the swag. But the swag is being able to communicate, read, write, getting a summer job, being able to say, hey, you need some help, and being able to pour into somebody else. That's swag. So young girls, don't get caught up in the gold teeth and the pants hanging down and the Jordans when they can't even spell your name. They don't have no respect for themselves, less known you. So, we go into that with the teenage girls too.
Right.
It's not about, we always want to fix up the outside. Get your eyebrows. Your eyebrows look good too.
Thank you.
Get your nails done and this. Okay, that's good. You do that for your self-esteem. However, that's not you. That's not what makes you. That enhances you, right? So the society say, oh, you got to be a size 3 to be beautiful. You got to have long hair to be beautiful, and that's not what we're gonna promote with these young girls.
Because I was out. I was out of the game. All I got was the eyebrows.
Right? But I'm beautiful. I'm a beautiful woman, and I know that it took me a while to get there because things, situations, and people tore that down. So what best person to teach somebody else about holding your head up and saying, hey, I'm beautiful, no matter how much you weigh, how long your hair is. And that's the things we need to promote.
Right.
And parents, this is one thing I really want to stress to parents. We going back to school. Do your baby's hair.
Okay.
Hair is something that's a major self-esteem killer. Let your child go to school and they get bullied every day because their hair is not done. I've seen it, and I even hired somebody to do their hair. And when she looked in the mirror and she did this, that let me know we got some more work to do. Do their hair, babies. Do their hair. Get somebody else to do it if you don't understand the assignment, because that is a major self-esteem breaker. They got to feel good about themselves to be able to learn, and they already know they got some imperfections. We all do. However, if someone harps on that every day, you come in every day and say, "Oh my God, Andrea, look at your hair." And then they sort of sniggling and talking. She's crushed. And that's one of the things we're going to be dealing with is past trauma. Miracle McCall is going to be talking about past trauma addictions. And we all suffer trauma some type of way, dysfunction when we were a child. Some of us still holding on to that.
Right.
That's why we can't be productive adults. It's time to get healed.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us and all the work that you've put into
You're welcome.
saving our seeds.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. We are wishing you nothing but success, and just remind people again how they can get in touch if they want to donate or they want to ask questions.
Our website, well, you can go to Facebook, Saving Our Seeds for Change, but our Cash App is $, always put the $, SOSFC19 if you want to donate. Okay? It doesn't come to my Cash App. It goes straight to our bank account, and definitely we appreciate it in advance. And thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for being on the spot.
Yes, ma'am.
On the spot.